Right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't say I'm either a clean or a dirty writer.
Sure.
I just try to write what's funny. But for me, my sense of humor, my personal sense of humor, was never the Two Broke Girls sense of humor. For example, that was a particularly filthy show.
Yeah.
And I find it funny to some extent, but it gets tiresome after a while. And what you find is that the audiences become trained to then only laugh at dirty jokes. Like if you kick a show off with a dirty joke, then other kinds of jokes don't connect because now there's blood in the water and they're hungry for more sex jokes. So I will say writing a show that is clean and funny is significantly more difficult and more challenging. But then to also add in the element about it being a show about religion, tonally, this was without a doubt the most difficult show I've ever done. It was stressful at times, for sure. And I think, though, at the end of the day, it just becomes more rewarding when you're done with it. This is the only show that I've ever ran and been completely in control of the content of. So, you have a responsibility, really. If you're going to do a show about religion, it can't be a filthy show, or else
sure.
you're not playing to the people that should and would enjoy the show. But yeah, that's a great question. I loved writing. I thought Always Sunny handled really sensitive, serious topics in a really, really funny way, but always in a R-rated manner. So it's stretching a different muscle, and I'd like to think that I have adapted to it. But I love it. I think it's very exciting when you get laughs on something that isn't dirty. It's because it means it's a genuinely funny thing.
Great. Yeah. So my last question, I guess, is building off of that. Do you notice if there's a trend in comedy in general, like towards things being cleaner or dirtier? Do you feel that there's room for both? And could there be a swing or a kind of a shift towards more clean comedy getting cleaner in society? Or do you think that's maybe you're an anomaly for now?
Yeah, well, I certainly think there's room for both,
Yeah.
but I think most sitcoms certainly the driving force is sex jokes usually, or risque jokes. And in terms of is it turning around, I haven't seen it, but I know that some of the shows that get a lot of praise for being stuff you can watch with your family about serious issues, like the One Day at a Time reboot. I haven't seen it, but people really love that show, and I think certainly there's a need for people to have a show they can watch with their families. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to get so frustrated. I'd sit down to watch Saturday Night Live with my dad, and 2 minutes in, I would get sent to bed because they said something I couldn't see. It was the same with The Simpsons or anything else. There'd be a joke that went too far, and I'd be sent out of the room. And I hope that this show is not only a show that families can watch together, but one that will lead to some good discussions. I do think America is kind of starved for that, and I do think there's a place for both. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to say thanks for taking the time, and I think the show's hilarious. I hope it really does well, and
thanks so much, Carl.
What night and time is it going to be on the schedule?
We air February 26th at 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS. That's a Monday night.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll encourage everybody to tune in. And until next time, this has been Conversations. Thanks.